Man, God hope I do not fumble. All right, God hope I do not fumble. Ah, bro. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna explain this. All right. I think that should be good. Oh man. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Um. Yup, everyone. As you guys can see on screen, uh, I got y'all an iceberg video that I created. But I actually created myself. I created it like nine. I think around the not 9 months ago. I think somewhere around the end of July. I think the end of the summer. Maybe somewhere around maybe or somewhere around the end of almost the end of 2022. No, yeah, I created my own iceberg, and as you guys can see, I decided to go the extra mile and decided to do everything, try and edit this whole entire video, to make it made it short, and then just uploaded it as a private video on my main channel, just only so I could at least get it on screen for for the Switch. All right, and I put on my Switch, and that's really all you really need to know. Some people are gonna tell me, "More you went to you more you kind of been a more you kind of being a bit extra. You don't really need to do that. You could just screen record your screen." Well, the problem is that I don't really want people looking at who's texting me. You know what I mean? I mean not who's texting me, but all my messages, notifications, and stuff. I would rather just I would do that. Screen record, or actually no. Now that I think of it, I never. But I'm talking about Twitch right now. I'm twitching right now, bro. So what really happened was while I was trying to make this stream again because I kind of fumbled on the last one. I've been found out you could like record your screen, do it live on your screen, and I was like, "Are you serious, man? Really, bro? That's awesome." But I didn't know that until now, and I confused the whole live thing, on YouTube with Twitch, and I forgot I'm not on Twitch. I'm on YouTube. So I didn't even know that. And I thought that was a share button. Use a screen, and then you got the share button right inside of it, bro. How I've known? All right, it looked like a share button. Besides that, though, yeah, as you guys can see, I'm bringing you guys an iceberg video. And as I said, as I explained, I created it somewhere around the end of the summer vacation. I think maybe around the end of summer, or somewhere around the end of the new, or somewhere around the end of 2022. Basically, yeah, a couple months actually. I gathered to make this iceberg. I gathered all the facts that I knew. All right, I gathered all of the facts that I knew. Excuse me. Gather all the facts that I knew. Know about and stuff. Stuff I know. Random things, I guess, and decide to put them in this. Decide to include them in this iceberg, stuff I ended up finding out from somewhere else or that I've already known about. Oh, that's a motor. Um, and then just random things that nobody really brought up. It's just stuff that I myself made up in my head and that I've noticed and decide to include in this video, in this iceberg, and yeah. So for those who don't know what a typical iceberg is, for those who don't know what an iceberg, I'm pretty sure by now everyone knows what's the gist of an iceberg works, all right? How the gist of an iceberg works. But of course, there's people out there that may not know how it actually works, and I guess I'll bring it up for those who don't know. An iceberg is basically a tier list, all right? and and it really all depends on how it's set up by the creator, right? That's how a tier list works, all right? It all depends on the person who made the tier list, all right? But in this one, in an iceberg, although it's the same, it works differently as a typical stereotypical iceberg, includes stuff on the tippy top of the iceberg, right? Maybe some of them may include the sky, other will just include the summit, right? Which is really the main thing, right? The sky, I guess rarely anybody use, maybe people use it, but I don't really know. It really doesn't make a difference, as really these two areas are where typically the most well-known facts are put in, well-known facts that people already know, stuff that people already know, things that may be lighthearted and stuff, all that good. All right. But once you start getting into the surface waters, all the way to the deep, all right, there's another one that's under, but I didn't include it, because what else do I include? I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be right over here. Really, most of the stuff I included it just ends right down here. All right. But yeah, during the deep waters, during when you get into the surface of the water all the way to the deep end, that's where like things start to get obscure, Facts start becoming a bit obscure, stuff that not many people know about, somewhere around here at least, people, I guess some people do know, certain people do know, but like, others may a lot of other people may not know about them, some of them may be like maybe creepy and stuff, I guess eerie. But once you start getting into here and then lower, that's where the facts and stuff start to become really obscure. Not everybody knows about it. Actually, not just anybody knows about it. Really, only a few people actually know about these things. Sometimes not too many people know about them. All right, you have to sort of be, and when we're talking about a Godzilla and Kong fan, or when we were talking about Godzilla and Kong stuff, literally people have to literally you have to be sort of a Godzilla fan or a Kong fan to know about some of these things, but it doesn't even have to be about obscure facts. It could also be mysteries as well that could get mysterious. Right, they go from mystery, something like a mystery or some, to them becoming really mysterious to the point where it's like, what does this all mean? What is this? You barely know about it. All right. Yeah. Yeah, really things start to get mysterious to just being creepy or maybe a bit mysterious and stuff, Yeah. So how I put it, really I described it. All right. Typical iceberg stuff. Decide to do like that. Without further ado and wasting time, how about we go on with the iceberg? And the first one that we have, you guys can see, it's oh damn. Hold up. All right, it's blinking. All right, all right, all right. All right. Well, you guys aren't really gonna see it, and I did not expect it. I should have done something about that. I did not even know about that. So, oh my freaking god. All right, so as you guys can see, here we have the sky. All right, designed to include the sky. Stuff just about everybody knows. All right. The first thing that we have I want to bring up is Toho. So just about everybody knows who Toho is. They're really the most iconic, they're really one of the more iconic movie studios, I guess. Studios, animation studios, like animation or movie studios, depends on which one you're looking at, but they're all the same, right? Toho, the creators of Godzilla, since 1954. I think they've also made some other movies before Godzilla or Gojira, but really Toho is really best known for Godzilla, for creating Godzilla, the whole Godzilla franchise series. They've also made some other franchises too. One of the other well-known ones is Ultraman, the Ultraman series, which I know about it. I don't watch Ultraman, but like I know about it, and I've heard of it. You know, he looks pretty cool. He looks pretty cool. I have him on Godzilla Battle Line. Wait, why am I bringing that up? I don't know. But yeah, Toho, creators of Godzilla, also the creator of the Ultraman series. Yeah, that's who Toho. All right. Next one is this one right here, Godzilla 1998. So Godzilla 1998 is a big one, right? So Godzilla 1998 is supposed to be the first American-made Godzilla movie, which it's actually true, but that's a sad thing though, which I'll go on with. All right. So the development history of Godzilla 1998 was the development history was hell, all right? So this whole thing started, I think, during the production of Godzilla versus Destroyer, or after, or before the movie was released. Toho actually did actually make a plan to give America the rights to allow them to make their own Godzilla movie. All right, and oh my god, my dog. And when they did that, when they did give America the rights were then gained by TriStar. And I think around like 1993, maybe 1992, I don't know. During that time, though, wait a minute, I forgot. I'm pretty sure it was 1992 that Godzilla vs. Destroyer was released. I'm pretty sure. Um, During that time, though, the movie went through development hell. All right. It was easy for them to gain the rights, but trying to get a director and a script going, and maybe a character. I mean, a design that was easy as well, I guess. But like, at least the director to stay on board and a script was hell. All right, it was hard because when directors will come in, all right, they will kind of pitch their own idea for a movie, give a budget, but TriStar did not give them the budget because, well, to them it was too high, right? It was too high for a Godzilla movie, and the directors ended up leaving. They also scrapped the script, right? And that happened, all right, multiple times. I guess I don't know how many times. I think only like two directors, or I think it went through like two directors before going on with the one which leads to 1998. But yeah, uh, I heard that one director came in, but I think two directors came in, but same thing, right? Two others, and or I think another one came in and they ended up leaving because same thing, right? The other one, one director did actually stay in, which actually has a script, a storyboard, and a script and the storyboard was actually created, and it had to include and it included Godzilla fighting an unused monster that was called the Griffin, which will be discussed later. But yeah, all of this leads up to the canceled 1994 movie, which I'll also bring up later in the Iceberg. And same thing happened. TriStar, they couldn't give them the budget to make this movie, so then, or I think something else happened besides budget. I'm not sure, but besides that though, the director ended up dropping out, and that leads to the canceled 1994 movie, which it actually sounds better. Let me be honest, right there. All right. Designs were also made for what this Godzilla should be, and many of the designs actually focus more on giving Godzilla a more agile, slimmer body. All right, for him to be able, that would actually allow him to go through, traverse through cities. More specifically, I guess one being New York. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some of the concepts did actually feature. Wait a minute, I want to try and should I look should I look it up? Yeah, I think I should look it up. Should look up a video on the designs. All right. Um but yeah, many designs were actually created. Many concepts were created for what this American Godzilla should be, but they ended up getting scrapped. Some of them actually looked pretty unique, but others they were not. They didn't really look too unique. All right, many of them because they mostly depicted Godzilla looking more like a radioactive dinosaur. More important, to be specific, a radioactive T Rex rather than radioactive. Basically being Godzilla. Some of them didn't really look like Godzilla. They just looked like T Rexes or dinosaurs. All right, regular dinosaur. All right. One of them also featured the design, which I found unique, which was actually a Godzilla design that had like horror-like features, right? Mutations, because of course nuclear radiation and all of that. Many of that goody goods. All right. Many designs were created. You know what? Forget it. Forget it. I'm just gonna try and describe it. But yeah, a lot of the designs were pretty unique. One of the more many of them actually did try to portray Godzilla as looking more like a radioactive dinosaur that was created by nuclear radiation. All right, and something that I forgot to mention though was that was that before was that when they gave the rights to America, one of the most important things that Toho wanted America to keep. One of the most important things to keep about Godzilla was his backstory, which of course his backstory is basically being like a dinosaur, was basically being a creature that was created by the nuclear testings and radiation caused by these nuclear testings. Somewhere around the what was it? The Bikini Pat- Atoll, Bikini Bottom. All right, y'all know where Bikini Bottom is in SpongeBob. But yeah, basically somewhere around there. Which in real life actually did the Bikini Toll. The nuclear testings around the Bikini Toll. I think I don't know. That was actually what inspired, or really what inspired the Baxter for Godzilla was really the nuclear testings. All right, and yeah, that's a whole backstory that Toho wanted America to keep. All right, which was Godzilla being a creature created by the nuclear radiation caused by nuclear testings. All right, and that's what stuck, right? And it all leads to like the unused designs for Godzilla, which gave him more mutated features, radiation, kind of like trying to give the effect, kind of like they're trying to portray the effects of radiation and what it could do to you, right? And yeah, some of the concepts also or at least two of them actually featured Godzilla on all fours, all right, crawling, which was like something that did stick with the 1998 one. And another one was also showing Godzilla, running, right, which was also used. So yeah, a lot of things did get carried on over to the 1998 movie, to the Godzilla design we see in the 1998 one. And Ollie, but of course, as I said, the director ended up the directors ended up leaving. Many of the concepts were never used, and scripts and stuff were never finalized. A lot of them were actually dropped, and that leads to one director staying. That leads to one director who basically gave his own take on Godzilla. Basically trying to portray him as a bit of a villain, even though in the final movie he was, Godzilla was just a creature trying to live his life, not really trying to cause destruction or anything like that, just acting like a regular reptile. All right. And yeah, the director ended up staying. The director which leads to TriStar ended up selling with one director and a script, and it all leads up to the 1998 movie, and also a design, all right, which is the iguana like, which is a more iguana like reptilian design that we see in the final movie, right? Now, before the movie was released, marketing was high. All right, marketing was hella high. People were hyped about the movie. But once it finally was released, people just hated the movie. Critics, the movie bombed. All right, and yeah, people considered it to be the worst Godzilla movie ever made. And because of how massive this movie failed, it even caused Toho to take back the rights from America, which all leads up to the Millennium Era, which the Millennium Era was actually never supposed to be created, and the only reason why it was created was to heal the scars caused by the 1998 movie. Which yeah, it did that. We got some pretty cool movies, right? Godzilla Tokyo SOS. I guess Final Wars. I hear that movie wasn't very good, but I thought it was pretty cool. Mostly when Godzilla is in it or in fighting a monster. All right. A lot. The Millennium Era. Um, was never supposed to be created. All right, and yeah, one of the people who worked on Godzilla movies, or I think one of the creators of Godzilla, watched the movie and described the movie as being a movie that took the god out of Godzilla, which was like, damn, that's got to be a huge insult. If one of the people who worked on the original movies watches your remake of the movie or watches your take on the movie franchise or on a character, and they also say, the movie fails or the thing fails, and nobody likes it, and even the original creator doesn't like it, it's bad. Yeah. Sucks for us because that was supposed to be the first American made Godzilla movie, and the first American Godzilla was terrible. But at least we got the 2014 movie, all right, which actually did better. Which, yeah, I agree, it actually did tons better. All right. Now, even though we got a worse movie, it all leads up to Godzilla's the animated series, which of course you guys can see. Godzilla's the animated series. So Godzilla's the animated series is basically the direct sequel to the 1998 movie. Damn, I just realized. All right. Godzilla's the animated series is the direct sequel to the 1998 movie. And the first episode, the first part of the first episode takes place directly after Godzilla is defeated. And then, after a time jump, the rest of the episode ends the series, takes place a year, I think a year or, no, I think a couple months or a year after the events of the original movie, it all follows up with Nick Totopoulos, who ends up discovering a surviving Godzilla egg, which I forgot to mention in the ending of the 1998 movie. You do end up seeing that although the Manhattan Square Garden was bombed, it killed every baby Godzilla, all the ones that did hatch and the ones that didn't hatch. All right, but even though it was bombed, every single Godzilla died. There was actually a surviving egg, which yeah, which does end up hatching, and you obviously know how it is. It was supposed to set up a sequel, but that never happened, which we will also discuss. Damn, so many things that included that we're gonna discuss later in the iceberg, right? But the Godzilla, but yeah, Nick Totopoulos ends up discovering the surviving Godzilla, and although Godzilla ends up leaving because Nick scares it away with like a huge noise because the military were coming in to the area that Nick was at. A year later, time jump all the way to I think a year later, or I think a couple months. I don't know. I have to rewatch the episode again. A year later, that's when Nick ends up, or Godzilla which in this case, in the animated series, his name's Godzilla Junior. So that's where. So I think when I say Junior, that we're gonna be referring to Godzilla Junior. All right. So Junior ends up going out because he ends up finding fish and stuff, and Nick is right there at the right moment. All right, and he ends up discovering Junior. Realizes, oh dang, he grew up, and Zilla Junior is about to attack Nick, but when he picks him up, he ends up real Zilla Junior. Godzilla Junior ends up realizing, oh dang, it's my dad, which I forgot to mention. Also, Godzilla Junior ends, when he discovers Nick, he chooses Nick as its parent. All right, and that's why Junior decides not to attack him and is acting almost puppy like, which is adorable. But yeah, you know, after that whole encounter and getting the military convinced that he can train him and stuff, Nick ends up creating a team which I think is called Heat. He creates a team called Heat, and with him along with his team and Godzilla Junior, the three of them unite to basically save the entire world from other mutated creatures that are similar to Godzilla. Not like lizard, not just lizard kind of creatures or amphibians, basically other nuclear radioated, yeah, what am I even describing right now? Other mutated creatures that are similar to Godzilla, but most of these creatures are basically bug-like creatures, plant maybe, but most of them are kind of like bug-like creatures, I guess. That's how I look at it. Um, yeah, that's really the entire animated series. There is a three-part special which they do end up fighting aliens. All right, if any of you guys who loves the Zillions, I'm pretty sure you guys might like the aliens because they do end up fighting aliens in a three-part special, where the alien, kind of like Destroy All Monsters, where the aliens takes controls the minds of the monsters that are living around the world, and just only to cause havoc upon the world. And they also bring back the dead body of of the original Godzilla from the 1998 movie, except they give him cybernetic parts to be able to revive him, which his name is Cyber Godzilla. And they use Cyber Godzilla to as a way to kind of be able to control him, in order to allow Cyber Godzilla to then control Godzilla Junior. Because of course it's its parent, so of course it's gonna follow. But in the end, though, Godzilla. I'm not gonna spoil it. Y'all can watch it if you guys want to. But yeah, that's what Godzilla the animated series is. And I forgot to mention, Godzilla the animated series did tons did a lot better than the original 1998 than the 1998 movie, which is like, damn, that's surprising, I guess. I don't know. Actually, yeah, it is kind of surprising because, like, the movie did better. It did everything right to make Godzilla Jr. be basically basically be a strong Godzilla. Even though he may get shot and stuff by missiles, he still withstands it and just continues moving on. All right. And yeah, that it's pretty cool. The next one that we have is Anguirus. So Anguirus is basically the very first monster that Godzilla fought, which was back in Godzilla Raids Again. All right, so Anguirus' first appearance was in Godzilla Raids Again, and uh, Anguirus is basically like some sort of creature. It's kind of like an armadillo-like creature, who has a shell plating on his back, with spikes, spikes around his body. I guess not too many, but but he does have spikes around his body. Horns around his body. He has a horn in front, and yeah. So yeah, Anguirus was Godzilla's first rival. Was the first monster that Godzilla fought. And even though Godzilla does defeat Anguirus later in the future, Anguirus was will later then become Godzilla's most iconic ally. He becomes Anguirus becomes an ally to Godzilla, and really, as we can all say, Anguirus really does become Godzilla's best friend, which is actually pretty cool. Like, there's I think Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla, where Anguirus, where I think Godzilla talks with Anguirus. I know that there's a scene where Godzilla does actually talk with Anguirus. I forgot which movie it was, but I think it was a Mecha Godzilla movie, or maybe it was Godzilla versus Megalon. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I do know for sure. I do have one of the movies. I do have in one of the movies that I actually own. Godzilla and Anguirus do talk, but I don't think I can understand it because, well, it's in Japanese. So yeah. Um, but yeah, that's a good. But yeah, that's Anger's. The next one is Mafra. So Mafra in all iterations. So Mafra is basically the queen of the monsters, right? And as the name implies, she's basically a giant moth, right? Um, yeah. She's basically a giant moth and is the protector of Earth. And although ver and she does have a bit of a complex relationship with Godzilla, as you know um I think Mothra, there are many iterations, right? Her first appearance, right? Let's go on with that. Let's go on. Let's begin with that first, all right? I think her first appearance was in Mothra, basically in her own solo movie, which was just called Mothra, or it will, yeah, it was in Mothra, right? And the first appearance that she did have in a Godzilla movie was in Godzilla versus the Thing or Godzilla versus Mothra. Depends on which title you're looking at or which region. I actually have no idea why they decided to call Mothra the Thing. But yeah, Mothra is basically a protector of the Earth who has saved Earth countless times, right? And you can also see it in her own solo movies. She does actually have her own solo movies, has appeared in her own solo movies outside of the Godzilla movies, and yeah. Now there is a bit of a complex relationship between her and Godzilla, as in some iterations, Mothra and Godzilla are basically enemies, while in others they're allies. And I guess in the MonsterVerse, yeah, they are basically allies. And as it's confirmed, Mothra is basically, or I guess confirmed in the MonsterVerse. I don't know. I'm pretty sure everyone already knows about this, but Mothra is also is basically also the queen of the monsters. She is, similar to how Godzilla is the king of the monsters. Mothra is the queen of the monsters. So, with them two fighting, it's kind of weird. um, I do know one thing though, is that I think it was in Godzilla versus a Thing. Originally, originally the movie Godzilla versus a Thing or Godzilla versus Mothra, it was supposed to be a King Kong movie called King Kong versus Mothra, which was supposed to star King Kong as he ends up fighting Mothra, as she begins to fight Mothra. So Uh, that's kind of weird. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Godzilla versus Mothra, or I could be confusing with Godzilla versus a sea monster. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it is Godzilla versus Mothra, or yeah. Either way though, yeah, King Kong. Originally in one of the Godzilla versus Mothra movies, or one of the movies where Godzilla and Mothra fight. One of those movies was supposed to be King Kong and Mothra fighting instead of Godzilla, which is weird. I think it was Godzilla versus a sea monster. I don't know. I think it was Godzilla versus Sea Monster because there is a movie that people do end up describing as being weird, as how Godzilla acts. It's very uncharacteristically weird, as he does not act like himself, as he acts a bit gorilla like. I think it was Godzilla versus a Sea Monster, and or a Godzilla versus a Terror of the Deep. Terror of the Deep, was it that one? I don't know. I think it depends on which one you're looking at. Yeah. But yeah, that movie. Oh yeah, it is that movie. that movie originally was supposed to be a King Kong movie, a Toho King Kong movie instead of a Godzilla movie. You know, originally King Kong and Ibra were supposed to find some instead of Godzilla. Either way, though, as I said, originally one of the movies was supposed to feature Originally, one of the movies was supposed to feature King Kong fighting Mothra. So yeah, kind of get out of the way. Next one is Rodan. So Rodan is basically one of Godzilla is also another one of Godzilla's allies. As his first appearance was actually in his own movie, similar to Mothra. Rodan started in his own movie, which was just called Rodan. All right. He is basically a pterodactyl, depending on which one you're looking at, right? In most iterations, he's always portrayed as like a giant bird-like creature. Supposedly a giant extinct bird that lived, but of course, as I said, it was extinct. As a um, but yeah, most iteration he's in many iterations he's always portrayed as a bird. But in the ones, but when the ones featured in Godzilla versus what was it? Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla or against Mechagodzilla. Um Rodan's design changed into some sort of pterodactyl like creature, right? Pteranodon like creature. Rodan's design resembled more like a pteranodon rather than the bird that he is. All right. In the monsterverse he is still a bird, all right? But they were gonna add more onto the into the bird like thing by origin as they were as originally Rodan's design was supposed to include wings at the end of his was supposed to include feathers. I mean, what he his wings were originally supposed to include feather like things to include it to basically add on to the whole design of him being a bird, but I guess that was never included. But yeah, his first appearance was in his own movie. Got that out of the way. His first actual appearance in a Godzilla movie was in It was actually in Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, which in that movie, at first Godzilla and Rodan they're not really they don't really like each other. They basically fight each other. Throw insults, I guess. It's funny. It's a whole funny situation for those who have seen Godzilla, or I mean, in Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. All right, for those who have seen that movie, you know how the interaction went. And as one of the fairies ends up bringing up, um, I think it was either Rodan or Godzilla. Says something to the other, which insult, as an insult, which was like, damn, that's funny, damn. But at first they don't like each other, you know. But once they work together, after that they do end up growing close to each other, and yeah, they become allies, friends, as you can say. Um, Now going back to the whole pterodactyl iteration of Rodan, which appeared in Godzilla against Mechagodzilla or Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2, I think. Uh, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. I'm pretty sure it was that one. I don't know. I don't know. But Rodan also has a form, where he is able to turn into a fire Rodan form, which he is then able to like breathe, shoot out a ray, a ray beam. And he also possesses the ability to like, I guess he also was able to possess the ability to be able to revive Godzilla, which he does in fighting Mecha Godzilla. So yeah, shows how much of an ally True Bromy that Godzilla is to that Rodan is to Godzilla, as similar as Anger is to Godzilla. So basically, it's a trio: Rodan, Angers, and Godzilla. Bromies right there. Gotta get myself a drink. Been talking too much. It should have been a short. Most of these should be short, little one quick things, but I just go straight into it. I just go too much into it. All right. So next one, King Ghidorah. So King Ghidorah is basically Godzilla's arch nemesis. All right. All iterations, no matter which one it is, god damn it. No matter which one it is, whether Ghidorah is an ally to Earth or an enemy, um Ghidorah will always be Godzilla's arch nemesis. All right, one of his most iconic villains, reoccurring villains to say the least. To say the least. So Ghidorah is basically a dragon that comes from space. All right, he was basically a creature sent by Zillions to go attack Earth, and Ghidorah is basically a dragon. All right, a gold scale dragon that has three heads, two tails, no arms, but does have two legs and two wings that are able to hold him, that are able to lift them up in the air. I don't know if I should call Ghidorah a them or if I should just call him, as the him, because like three heads. He has three heads. Every time I call him a he, I'm always referring to the middle one. Yeah, I'm not referring to the other two heads. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, Ghidorah, really in all iterations, he's always portrayed as a villain. But the one iteration where he is actually portrayed as a god or as a defender of Earth is in GMK, which is I'm not gonna say the whole name because that's too damn long, man. But if you guys know what GMK is, it's basically Godzilla, Mothra, Ghidorah, this all out of monsters all out attack. Godzilla, Mothra, Ghidorah, monsters all out attack. All right. Uh, but of course, I'm only gonna be referring it to GMK. So GMK is basically the one iteration where is basically the one iteration includes the one iteration of Ghidorah where he is actually a hero, a savior to the world, an earth defender. All right. And he is basically a god. But in every other iteration, Ghidorah has always been portrayed as a villain. So always sent to Earth just to destroy it. All right. And as I said, Godzilla and Ghidorah have a huge rivalry. Ghidorah's first appearance was actually in Ghidorah's the three-headed monster. Basically, the name, you know, that refers to him. All right. He shoot. Ghidorah is able to shoot out lightning bolts out of his heads. His heads are able to shoot out lightning. All right. In the MonsterVerse, though, Ghidorah is actually able to cause storms, like huge thunderstorms, all right? Which is actually pretty damn cool. And he's also supposed to be like an Alpha Titan, but like, Godzilla kind of hates that because like he knows he ain't part of the natural order. All right. Basically, literally, Mothra and Godzilla know that he ain't part of the natural order. All right. Big baddie right there. Ghidorah is basically a big baddie. Um, or to give a little trivia, originally Ghidorah was actually supposed to be a rainbow dragon. His skills were supposed to be rainbow-like, but they just decided to go with a gold skill because I guess something happened with the film that just portrayed the whole thing as being gold instead of rainbow. I think. I don't know. I don't know. I forgot the whole history, but all I know is that originally Ghidorah's scales was supposed to be rainbow instead of gold. All right, so yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. Time to move on because I don't think there really is much to say about Ghidorah. Next one that we have is Burning Godzilla. So Burning Godzilla is a form that Godzilla takes when he absorbs way too much radiation in his body. When his body absorbs way too much radiation. Uh, oh, look at my dad. Hello. All right. Uh, he absorbs way too much radiation. That's really it. Uh, yeah, burning Godzilla absorbs way too much radiation in his body. That causes his temperatures to rise, all right, to really unnatural levels, especially for Godzilla himself. And at one point, he goes into his burning form, all right, which yeah, it's really bad because once he goes into his burning form, which is, as y'all can see on the image right there, all right, he starts growing lava-like textures around his body. You know, lava-like textures start appearing around his body. His dorsal spines also, you know, kind of have that little red thing around the edges. His eyes glow red, and his in his beam atomic breath, it turns into some sort of fire beam. Right, it turns red as well instead of the blue. And he also starts steaming from the body, which is terrible because when he goes into his burning form, that's where the whole idea of Godzilla being a walking nuclear bomb is a reality. As if he goes into his meltdown, uh, he actually explodes like a nuclear bomb, which is like, damn. Like seriously, he goes in, he actually explodes, and he's actually a nuclear bomb, which is terrible for everyone. As yeah, of course, you all know how nuclear radiation goes. But that's the one. His first appearance, this form's first appearance, was in Godzilla versus Destroya, and luckily for the whole town, all right, for the whole city of, I think, Tokyo or no, Tokyo is in Japan, but it really doesn't. Luckily for everyone in Japan, Godzilla finds out his son died, and he decides to transfer his energy into his son's to revive him. But at the cost that he ends up dying, all right, he actually sacrifices his own life. He gives his own life to revive his son, in which he actually melts. All right, but of course, as this, he doesn't explode. Now his latest appearance was actually in Godzilla Kingdom. What his latest appearance in any sort of media is in Godzilla King of the Monsters in 2019, where instead of being where Godzilla's burning form uh is actually something that helps him. All right, similar backstory or similar reason to why he becomes in where he go, why he goes into it. But the thing is that it's not really a consequence for anybody except really anybody who's around him. As when he goes into this burning form, anything that's around him starts melting. Which, if you guys watch that scene where he first appears, you can see some of the buildings actually, like, you know, melting. All right. Um, you know, a lava-like texture started appearing around his body, but in the MonsterVerse case, he actually looks more like a furnace. All right, like imagine a lit furnace, and you see those little searing lines with glowing fire searing you know, basically you see a lit furnace. All right, you see the little cracks, I guess, or little lines. All right, and you can also see the little glow of the fire actually searing through those cracks. All right, that's how he looks. You know, it makes him look like he is actually, you know, some sort of molten magma creature like thing. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah. One of the things about him though is that he does have the ability to generate some sort of force around his body, all right, to charge up his body and basically pump out a firewall around him, some sort of fire field around him. And this helps him burn off Ghidorah's wings and his two other heads. And yeah. um And one of the interesting things is that when he does this, you can see, if you look closely, you can actually see Mothra's wings. As when Godzilla was down, Mothra actually provided her own energy, gave her own life force to Godzilla so he can be revived. All right. And yeah, if you guys can see the wall, you can see that wings you know, you can see Mothra's wings coming out of his body, right? And you can also hear her as well. So yeah, Burning Godzilla, I would rather not have him appear because I'll rather have the one in 2019 be in this, but not the one in Godzilla versus Destroyer. Um, there's one more thing though I want to bring up. Oh yeah, it is also unknown if he still retains his atomic breath. That's all I'm gonna bring put out there. All right. Next one, it's Skull Island. To put it simply, it's Kong's home. All right, it's a home of King Kong. All right. Um, yeah, it's Skull Island is basically Kong's home. It actually has it's basically a prehistoric like home. You got a lot. You also have it also houses a lot of these strange creatures. Like maybe giant bugs and stuff. You know, a lot of plant life there is huge. Insects there are huge. Right, you got dinosaurs. Or some sort of dinosaur like creature. All right, at least for prehistoric, I guess. Brontosauruses, B Rexes, all of that. All right. And of course, the man himself, the eighth wonder of the world himself, King Kong. All right. He's in it. All right. That's his home. And next one, of course, as I'm saying the name, Kong. He's basically a giant ape that was created by uh Willis O'Brien. I think Willis O'Brien or someone else. I think Willis O'Brien was the guy who animated Kong. Wow. Oh yeah. Uh, C. Cooper or what was his name? Damn, I can't believe I forgot. Um, but Cooper. Let me just go by the last name. All right. Apologies, but I'm gonna go by his last name. All right. Cooper was his name. All right. Uh, Cooper was his name. And what ends up happening Kong was created by Cooper, uh, and his first appearance was, of course, is in his own movie, which was back in 1993. All right, which goes by the same name, King Kong. So basically, yeah, King Kong is basically a giant ape that basically a giant ape. In all iterations, he's always been a giant ape. The 2005 one though, actually made him look more gorilla-like, which is actually pretty interesting. I actually like that design. Let me be honest. Like the gorilla-like, uh, the gorilla-like inspiration towards him. I like it. All right, 2005 though, it was a pretty good. I thought the 2005 movie was pretty good. All right, hold up. Let me try and look for this. What was his name? Oh, Marianne C. Cooper. All right, that's his name. You know what? I don't. Screw it. I don't need to search up the movie anymore. King Kong was created by Marianne C. Cooper. I think the movie was directed by Marianne C. Cooper. I don't know. But all I know is that Willis O'Brien did actually provide the animations for Kong and its creatures, and for Skull Island's creatures. So yeah, I think that's it. No, you got the Oxygen Destroyer. So the Oxygen Destroyer is basically the thing that killed Godzilla in the original 1954 movie, and it was created by Serizawa. It was created by Serizawa as basically a way to kill Godzilla, but before Professor Serizawa died or sacrificed himself to kill Godzilla using his oxygen destroyer. He actually destroyed everything. He destroyed his lab, his blueprints, basically everything, in order to erase the existence of the oxygen destroyer, so no one else can get their hands on it. All right, and use it for possibly either world stuff, either as a weapon or really for anything else. The oxygen destroyer was something created by Professor Serizawa to kill Godzilla in the 1954 movie, the original Godzilla. All All right. I think the latest appearance Batsioxlin Disorder did appear in was in Godzilla King of the Monsters in 2019, where instead of it being created by Professor Serizawa himself, Professor Serizawa was actually against of the idea of the military using the Oxygen Destroyer to basically try and kill Godzilla and Ghidorah, which yeah, huge mistake on their part as it didn't kill them, but it did weaken them. It did, although it did kind of weaken Ghidorah, it majorly weakened Godzilla, which yeah, sucks them. Um, yeah, what it is, all I can really say though is that it basically destroys all the oxygen around an area. All right, that's why it's called the oxygen destroyer. It destroys the oxygen around an area. All right. Forgot what else I was about to say. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I forgot what else I was gonna say about the oxygen destroyer, but it's a pretty well known thing, known by many Godzilla fans as basically being the Godzilla killer. All right. I guess that's the end of the sky. Now we're going on with the next one, which oh shit, I can't see. Damn. Cannot see that shit. Hold up, hold up. Okay, okay. I can see the two in the white. All right, the two in the ice. All right. Let me just try and get back into it. All right. So yeah. Now we're at the summit of the iceberg, right? So the first one that we have is Gigan. So Gigan is basically similar to Ghidorah. He's basically a cybernetic creature, a cyber creature sent by Zillions to, of course, destroy the Earth. I don't think it was just to destroy the Earth. I'm pretty sure it was also to. I'm pretty sure his main objective was to go down to Earth and destroy Godzilla, to basically kill Godzilla. Um, yeah. So yeah, Gigan. What I can describe him as is basically a cyborg, right? He has one eye in the middle, all right, a red eye in the middle. All right, my bad for the mic. He has one eye in the middle. He has scythes as hands, is able to fly. His mouth though, I guess it's mantis like, I don't know. Uh to be honest, most of what he looks, some of what he looks a bit mantis like, but of course he's his own thing, right? He has basically a cyborg guy. From what I hear, originally, that red eye in the middle, it was supposed to be something that has an eye in the middle, right? All right. Basically, his eye. He was actually supposed to have an eyeball behind that glass thing. But they did. But I guess they decided against it. I don't know. I think that's what from what I hear. All right. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's from what I hear. What I do know is that he is kind of a creature sent by aliens. All right. Look, he has scythes as hands. He has fin like things, right? Fish fin like things on his back, all right? I'm pretty sure those do provide his ability to fly, but I'm not sure. All right, he has a hook on it. He has some sort of hook on his head. Has a little eyeball thing, little diamond thing that is supposed to allow him to shoot. But when he first appeared, that never happened up until his later design in Godzilla Final Wars, right? In which that one, yeah, they gave him his design completely changed. Now he's a bit now instead of being the chunky thing he was, he is actually slimmer. Right? He was actually made to be slimmer, has a skinny body, I guess. I don't know. His whole body is really robot. All right, more robot or cyborg like. All right. To be honest, it's actually really robotic, right? All right, cyber like. All right, still has his hands. All right, Sives. He has hooks now. He's still able to fly. He finally is it given that whole laser eye ability, and just like his original, just like his original design, which I forgot to bring up, he also had, in all iterations of Gigan, he does, all of them have a saw on his chest, right? All of them have saws on his chest, on their chests, right? Um, yeah. For the 2004 Guts or get my bad. For the 2004 Gigan, he also has a second upgrade, all right, a second version of him, actually an upgrade, all right, which is basically, I don't know what changed. All I know is that his size, he is now given saw upgrades. All right, dual saw upgrades. All right, basically, um, you know, hand. All right, kind of a curved thing. All right, one is a saw, and the other it's also a saw as well. All right. Uh, as is, I can't really provide a picture. All right, I think I can provide video footage. Uh, I think I can provide video footage. All right. Now in the 2004 one, I'm pretty sure God hope I don't get copyrighted. So in the 2004 one, his backstory, instead of him being sent by aliens, supposedly he has been buried, or I guess still sent by aliens, a long time ago, and he has stayed buried, almost mummy-like, and yeah, uh, yeah, basically, supposed to be like a mummy-like thing. He was mummified for all those years, and up until he was revived by the Zillions once again to cause havoc. All right, here it is. Another thing, but I also forgot to mention was that this upgrade is that this 2004 version of him, the 2004 version of him, he has he also has a hook on his. Yeah, he also has a hook at the end of his tail, and this is the upgraded one, which I forgot what else is upgraded except those dual saws. All right, all right. Yeah, yeah. That's Gigan. All right. Went on about him a bit too long, as with many things. So I don't think I should apologize. All right. And another thing that's mentioned in Miss Iceberg, but I'm gonna bring up in Miss Iceberg, is that shit. Another thing that I'm gonna mention about Gigan that's gonna be in Biz Iceberg, which is right down here. I don't know if you guys can see. All right, I'm just gonna tell y'all the names, so don't worry a bit. Is that Gigan is the first monster to make Godzilla bleed? All right. This actually appears in Godzilla versus Megalon. All right. The first time Godzilla bleeds was in Godzilla versus Megalon, which while flying and while flying over them, Gigan ends up cutting Godzilla by the shoulders, which it's like, blood comes out, and it's just like, damn. All right. Let me just search it up. Mm, damn. Uh, yeah, it was Godzilla versus Megalon. The heck am I saying? No way I'm gaslighting myself into thinking that it was Godzilla versus Gigan. I clearly saw it wasn't Godzilla versus Gigan. I don't have no, I mean Godzilla versus Megalon. I don't even own Godzilla versus Gigan. If I did, then I might have lost it, but I doubt it. Ah, no way. Oh, I'm kind of scared right now because that means I might have owned the movie. Swear to y'all, I clearly remember in Godzilla versus Megalon, while Godzilla and while Godzilla and King Caesar or Jet Jaguar, I mean, are getting overwhelmed. Gigan is flying over him, the two of them, and just overwhelms the hell of out of them, and it all leads to it all actually it all leads to was it? It all leads to uh Gigan cutting Godzilla's yeah, cutting Godzilla, which is like, what the heck? No way I'm high. No way I'm stupid. I clearly remember it wasn't Godzilla versus Gigan or Godzilla. Bro, it wasn't Godzilla. What? It was never in Godzilla versus Megalon, bro. Oh shoot! I see it. I see it. All right, hold up, hold up, hold up. I'm about to pull it up, bro. Then where's the movie then? All right, all right, all right. Hold up. Let me. I'll show it to y'all. Hold up, bro. Are you serious? Look at this. See that right there, bro. I clearly remember seeing that scene in the VHS. Where the hell's Godzilla versus Gigan at? I clearly remember seeing them getting. Oh, bro. Ah, man, I am so dumb now. But wait, Like I remember seeing that exact thing. All right, I know it was that part right there. All right, this part right here, right? Godzilla's overwhelmed, Gigan flies, and then boom, right there. Bro, I remember seeing that. Where the hell's the movie then? Bro, no way we threw it away on accident. God damn. Oh, shit. Ah, man, I'm kind of pissed right now because I'm now wondering how long have I been believing this lie? Like I clearly remember I know in Mecha Godzilla he bleeds, but like I thought it was in Godzilla versus Megalon that Godzilla versus bleeds. Like I know I won't like during one scene they're getting overwhelmed by Godzilla. Godzilla and Jet Jaguar are getting overwhelmed by Megalon and by Megalon and Gigan. Bro, I got rewatch Godzilla versus Megalon again. I gotta watch that again because it feels like I've been gaslight. It feels like I've been believing that shit for my whole life. All right, because like I remember seeing it on the VHS. I put it on the I put it. I was watching a Godzilla movie on the VHS a long as time ago, and I clearly remember something similar like that happening. So now I'm wondering where the hell's the movie at? I might have lost it. Shit. All right. All right, next one before I start getting before I start getting like what the hell. All right, next one it's the MonsterVerse. So the MonsterVerse is basically this huge universe that features a Godzilla, Kong, Rodan, Ghidorah, Mothra. It basically features all. It basically is this new universe that puts Godzilla and Kong going up against creatures that either started that were either that either appeared in Toho or maybe old movies, like the Skull Crawlers. We all know that the Skull Crawlers were most likely based on the two-legged creature from the original 1933 movie that we see on crawling up. That's about to attack Jack. Right? Creatures. Right? Godzilla and Kong being put in this new universe created by Legendary and Warner Bros that pits them, allying or going against creatures that appeared in the past movies or that have that are basically new, like Behemoth being a new creature that first made its appearance in in the MonsterVerse. First time was in uh Behemoth, them meeting up old monsters and new monsters like Behemoth, Mothra, Scylla, Rodan, Ghidorah, the Mutos, Muto Queen, Muto Prime, Tiamat, what was it, Mafusala. I'm pretty sure I said Behemoth and Scylla again already. I don't know. A lot of these creatures that were eyes that possibly most likely make an appearance, especially Mecha Godzilla. But like creatures that have appeared in movies from past, return, getting put in this new universe with a new design and stuff, and also meeting new creatures that make their appearance in this. All right. Next one is Mafra, Rodan, and Angiers. Now, I'm pretty sure when I created this, I'm pretty sure I'm referring to those three, right? Rodan, Mafra, and Angiers as basically being three of Godzilla's closest allies, right? I don't know about I don't know if it's even based around that, but like that's how I look at it. Mothra, Rodan, and Anger's being the three of Godzilla's most closest allies. All right, there are other allies out there that Godzilla has met. Of course Kong, but mostly they were enemies. What was his name? Jet Jaguar. Uh, King Caesar, but the three most closest allies that I can really think of are Mothra, Ghidorah, or Mothra, Rodan, and Anguirus, right? Being possibly his three closest allies, but with Mothra, it's kind of a mixed thing. Rodan and Anguirus, definitely allies, right? The next one, which is like right here, right? Of course, you're not gonna see it, or at least part of it. Part of it you can see, but I'll just read it out to you. Godzilla was an anti. Wait, let me read that. All right. All right. Godzilla. um, Um, Godzilla was. Ah, shit. Godzilla was anti-nuclear warfare. All right. Basically referring to how the original 1954 movie was actually some sort of PSA. All right. I guess I don't know. I doubt it's a PSA, but it's basically a movie that goes against that is basically anti-nuclear warfare. All right. Um, yeah, during the time of 1954, of course, it was basically the aftermath of the nuclear bombings. More importantly, the bombing of Hiroshima, and yeah, scary shit right there. And Toho decided to make Toho decided to make a movie that's basically about a nuclear dinosaur. That's basically about a creature that was created by the nuclear testings. Literally related to the nuclear bombings and testing of that radiation. Created by the radiation caused by nuclear testings, and it's where we get Godzilla. Godzilla is born from that. All right. The original, Godzilla always stood as like a symbol of kind of what would happen if we did. He basically is kind of like a warning as to why we should why nuclear warfare or weapons are is bad basically. But how they did it though, I don't know. I don't really know how to put it, but like how they did it though, it was like, yeah, you actually do get the idea. All right, if you go deep, you may look at it like a regular monster movie, as basically a monster movie that spawned this huge franchise. But one of the things to keep in mind is that Godzilla is basically based on actual events. I mean, maybe not himself, like being based on actual events, but like his creation was in Baxter was based on actual events, right? Which is why I included it in here because just about everybody knows, or a lot of people know that the original 1954 movie was related to anti-nuclear warfare. All right. The next one, which is actually really hidden, all right, it's actually referring to. I'm gonna look at it. Godzilla anime trilogy, which is basically all right. So the Godzilla anime trilogy is basically a Netflix exclusive thing. It's basically a trilogy of movies that Toho released between 2017 and 2019. I think 2020. I think it was 2019. All right. Toho released these three movies which are based around Godzilla winning. All right. Which because he wins, humanity leaves, and then they come back 300 years later to take back the earth. All right. The first one, of course, goes into that whole thing, right? Godzilla, he took over. Monsters also took over as well. The whole planet became the planet of the monsters, which implies the name. Humanity had to leave, and then 300 years later they come back, and this one dude, our main character, basically has something against Godzilla. You know, yeah. Um, the next one, I think it's a city on edge. It's basically them. It's basically humanity forming an alliance with a group of people that actually live on a city. Right, Mecha Godzilla. All right, Mecha Godzilla is in the movie, but how he looks, it's a lot of spikes. Let's be honest. A lot of spikes that they include with Mecha Godzilla's design. Um, but still, before humanity makes an alliance with people that are living on Mechagodzilla. All right, Mechagodzilla, he himself is a city. All right, not a robot. He's an actual city. I'm pretty sure he does end up forming and tries to defeat Godzilla, but of course he ends up getting destroyed. I don't know. From what I hear, that one people didn't really like. Yeah, like so first one people liked, the other two though, no, nobody really liked. um no, they tried to stop Godzilla, but of course he ends up winning. Third movie, I've actually watched it and I thought it was like, okay, it's pretty good, I guess. I thought it was pretty good, or up until like once you get to the actual part, which is near the end where Ghidorah actually appears. All right, in this one, it's basically humanity, of course, trying to defeat Ghidorah or trying to defeat Godzilla. But one of the things that ends up coming up is that there is actually a cult that there's actually a group of people led by this one dude who believe in a creature that is Ghidorah, all right? He is that comes from Ghidorah, instead of it being a creature formed by created by aliens to and sent to Earth, he is an actual creature that's from another dimension. And the thing is that he's not even full bodied anymore. He's the three heads, they split, all right? And the whole thing is that this dude, he believes that this is a creature that will actually he this dude believes that this creature Ghidorah is basically the key to stopping Godzilla. But as everybody really knows, all right, that's not the case. As what everybody doesn't know though, what everybody doesn't know is that they're actually joining a cult, all right, and they're actually sacrificing themselves to Ghidorah in order to in order to bring him out of the dimension that he's in and into Earth, right? And of course, the caption kind of says it, right? Planet Eater, which is referring to Ghidorah, who is basically a planet eater himself, right? The three heads are the three of them are planet eaters themselves, right? When they actually do start the ritual, let me be honest, it was a pretty creepy scene because you get this one dude, he sees a creature, he's kind of freaking out, he's all like, oh damn, he sees it, but he ends up getting taken by Ghidorah. And basically the three heads, they're never seen, but you can see the shadow, and as it's passing by people and taking their lives, which is like damn. All right, all right. And so now it's up to this dude, you know he hates Godzilla, but he realizes that this creature is basically bigger than they imagined. All right, so he has to basically try and save Godzilla. He has to basically try and save Godzilla, which during that time when Ghidorah first appears, they are spirits. All right. Godzilla can't touch them, and he struggles a whole lot. But of course, as it is, how can you kill something that can't be physically touched? All right. And so this dude, he ends up, this dude and this one fairy girl. I'm pretty sure she is a fairy girl. I don't know. They end up doing something to stop Ghidorah. All right, making them now physical, making them now physical instead of spirits. All right, and because of this, now Godzilla is able to like basically fend them off, kill them, or I think send them back to the dimension, or just kill them. I don't know. It's been a while. It's been 2 years since I watched it. Zienzo, the dude, he ends up making amends. So he just realizes, you know, yeah, he ends up killing himself, trying to destroy and one last attempt to kind of fight off Godzilla, but he knows that he's not gonna win. So yeah, basically that's that. Godzilla wins though, but humanity, they actually decide, even though Godzilla is still around, he of course we all know that Godzilla although he may be destroying our cities, we all know that he's basically a savior to us. So it's best if we actually cooperate with the monsters, live amongst the monsters, survive as we can, I guess. But yeah, the anime trilogy, although the first movie was good, the other two people didn't like them. All right, people didn't like them, especially the second one. because Mecha Godzilla battle. No, I don't think it happens. I don't know. There was actually a novelization. There was actually a novel, a prequel about. There was actually a novel release that was a prequel to the anime trilogy. So yeah. The next one that we have is right over here. All right. It's on top. It's somewhere on the tip. I don't think you guys can see it, and it refers to the 2005 King Kong movie. So, um, the 2005 King Kong movie is basically a remake of the original 1933 movie that was directed by Peter Jackson. All right. This movie, it was. I'm pretty sure it was just about. I never mentioned this about the 1998 Godzilla movie, but I'm pretty sure the 1998 Godzilla movie was everyone's first Godzilla movie, and I guess the same can be said with the 2005 King Kong movie. I've never heard about him. Really, he was really the first King Kong movie, or really he was the first iteration of Kong I've seen. All right, I've had a toy of him, but I lost it. I guess I don't know. Over time, I loved it as a kid though. All right, there was also this little book, right, where there's like buttons on the side. You guys ever seen those books where it's like you got the book, and then on the side it's like on the bottom there's like little buttons that you can press. All right, and it all and like I think during the page, I can. I think when you're reading the book, there'll be buttons that prompt you to basically press one of those buttons in order to, I guess go along with the story. Yeah, that's basically what that was, right? It was called Kong's the Eighth, King Kong's the Eighth Wonder of the World, and yeah, it was associated with the 2005 movie, so similar to it, but of course it was, I think, a kid's book. Yeah. Um, yeah. The 2005 King Kong movie, of course, has this released in 2005. All right, I fit. And the interesting thing though was that that was on my birthday. I'm pretty sure it was actually. I think it was released somewhere around December of 2005, which was like, damn, I was actually alive during that. I was born during that time. Just months before. So yeah. Yeah, 2005 King Kong movie directed by Peter Jackson follows the same story, except it leans more into that whole Beauty and the Beast side of things. All right, I mean, the whole Beauty and the Beast side of the story, which is like, if I were to be honest, the 2005, how it's done, it's beautiful. Let me be like, it's beautiful. There is another thing though. I got mentioned. Was it? Peter Jackson also did also do a recreation of the spider pit scene, which can only be seen in I think a Blu-ray copy of the 2005 movie. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Blu-ray on the extras disc. Wish if I could see it. Especially the other things, like the creation of it with the audio, because like I found a video that was basically a document that basically documented on Peter Jackson trying to recreate the spider pit scene, but it has no audio, just music. So I was pretty sad. Tried looking for it online, it's blocked. Ah man, kind of sad. Sad. Next one that we have is Destroyer versus Destroyer or Ghidorah. I think this whole thing was kind of an argument. I'm pretty sure at least some. I'm pretty sure it was just me but I just decided to include it. No one really talked about it, but like I think this refers to who is Godzilla's greatest enemy, Destroyer or Ghidorah? Like one of those two, like both of them did actually have ways to did actually did almost kill Ghidorah or Godzilla. I mean, Destroyer did kind of kill Godzilla, but like he technically didn't when you think about it. Destroyer didn't really kill Godzilla. Why am I saying that? But yeah, I think this whole thing I included it because I think it was like a little discussion people might have. I don't know. I don't know about it. The next one is Godzilla Battle Line. So Godzilla Battle Line is basically was among the three Godzilla games that were released in 2021. All right. Total. So the hold up. I got get my facts straight. Gotta get myself straight. Excuse me. All right. All right. Time to continue on with this. So Godzilla Battle Line was among the three Godzilla games that were released by Toho in 2021. All right, the other two were Godzilla Destruction and Go Godzilla. All right, Godzilla Battleline was actually I think the last Godzilla game released for 2021. Was actually the last game released amongst the three. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was released somewhere around June or July of 2021. um and it's basically a battle royale like game. Right, it's basically a or not battle royale game like game. It's actually a Clash Royale like game. All right, the gameplay is similar to those like Clash Royale. All right, but except instead of you collecting cards, you're now collecting these little pieces which are like statues. All right, their rarities are depends on the stars that they have. All right, one or is it one or yeah one is a bronze or bronze, which are pretty common. All right, you'll find them instantly. Two are silver. Two is a Yeah, I think yeah, one star is basically a very common one. Silver is a common, which yeah, as the name implies, it's common. Three stars is a gold rare, all right? One is a bronze, two is silver, three it's basically a gold, and it's a rare one. The 4 stars are actually super rares, all right? They're like some sort of silver like thing. Silver like thing, my bad. Uh it's because I don't know if the stand is about to fall or not. So I'm just gonna catch so I don't want it to fall backwards. Alright. But yeah, like yeah. You collect these little pieces, and similar to Clash Royale style game. Two teams. All right, you want your opponent. Except it's pretty different. All right, let me just try and search up gameplay. Let me search up gameplay of Godzilla Battle Line. I'm pretty sure that'll help give y'all an idea. All right. Um. All right. Trying to load this gameplay from someone. But yeah, it takes the gameplay is actually inspired by Clash Royale. It is inspired by Clash Royale. You create decks, you have leaders, all right? All right. And yeah, this was about a year ago. Damn, it's been a year now. All right, let me show y'all the lay. I would have shown you guys gameplay, but I forgot to record some. But yeah, this is a layout on the deck. Uh Try to go under. On the bottom, you got on the far left, you got the shop, you got the deck, which is on the green. In the middle, you got battle. The one on the left is expedition, and then the coming soon one. The coming soon was actually supposed is actually the studio mode. No, that was later. The one the thing the slot that says coming soon is basically are the events that go on. All right, where you play as whatever specific character there is. All right, let's just say the most recent one, the Common Rider one. All right, now I don't have it, but in the event you actually have the masked rider as the leader. right? Whatever character is featured on the front of the event, it's basically the character that you have as a leader, right? You as y'all can see right there, oh yeah, shoot, damn. This dude must have bought the battle pass. Damn. But yeah, you use specific characters specific monsters can be leaders, right? This dude's a leader. This Godzilla 2021 later became a leader. Same goes with what was his name? Godzilla Ultima. And yeah. Uh yeah, Ree, that's it. Um yeah. The game takes inspiration. I'm gonna show y'all some gameplay. Alright. The cool thing is that you get like some of these little movies. Sadly, you don't see that with many of them anymore, but like many of the recent ones anymore, but like still. There's also crossovers, which I didn't mention. Like I'm pretty sure you guys saw. It's not just with Godzilla stuff related things that you'll get crossovers with. You'll also get there's been crossovers like with the Ultraman series, Ultraman specific. You get like stuff like Ultraman, Common Rider, as I said, um, the Evangelion for any of you Evangelion fans out there. What was it? What was it? Um, uh, the MonsterVerse. Yeah, basically. What I know that there's another one. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is it. Yeah, as you guys can see, this is gameplay right here. The whole idea is to similar to the gameplay of Clash Royale. You bring the other players down, right? Except you gotta defeat their leader. All right, use your monsters, be strategic about things, all that. Um, yeah. Be it, and also or many monsters. A lot of the monsters, especially the leaders, have their own effects. Right, leaders specifically have effects if they are leaders. All right, like Mecha Godzilla or Mothra. All right, yeah, yeah, and also urine stuff. Um, there's also been another one which I forgot to mention, which was the studio mode, which is where you're able to like have one of your monsters battle someone else's monster, and then it's like some sort of chance thing, right? You got it's gonna be chance that you'll win or your monster will win or your opponent's monster or the person that it paired you up with monster wins. It's pretty cool though because you get like little crossovers. Like maybe you want maybe a Jet Jaguar. Oh shoot! You see that was the problem right there. You get cool little crossovers. Like what was his name? Like Ultraman versus a character from Eva One. Ultraman versus Eva One. Godzilla versus or which Godzilla? The original 1954 Godzilla versus the MonsterVerse Godzilla. You get stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So yeah, you get like these little crossovers. It's like a little movie thing. It's pretty cool. And the last one for the summit, it's the Hanna Barbera Godzilla. So the Hanna Barbera Godzilla, I forgot when it was released. Let me be honest. So the Hanna Barbera Godzilla was basically an animated series that, of course, followed up as the name implies with Godzilla. Right now, I'm pretty sure the Hanna Barbera Godzilla series or the cartoon was kind of like it acted like an inspiration for the animated for the Godzilla's the animated series, because both cartoons, all right, in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon, you got a team of people, you got a team on a boat, and they're working with Godzilla to save the world from aliens or more importantly monsters, right? In Godzilla's the animated series, though, it's basically the same thing. All right, uh, you got a team on a boat going around the world going around the world saving people or saving the entire world from mutated monsters, aliens as well, but mostly mutated monsters, and they're working with Godzilla as well. All right. Uh, you guys can see the resemblance right there. You guys can see the inspiration that Godzilla's the animated series took from the Hanna Barbera Godzilla. There's another, but between the two, but the major difference between the two is that there is no character like Godzuki. So people like the Hanna Barbera Godzilla, even though it's nothing really much like Godzilla, because one, Godzilla's skin is green, racism, right? And I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. Godzilla doesn't really, he looks more like a dinosaur, just a regular dinosaur. I guess radioactive dinosaur, I guess. He only, his atomic breath, it's just a regular flame breath. He, for some reason, is able to shoot lasers out of his eye, which is like, what the hell? Like, when I found out about that, I was like, what the I was like, what? Bro, what the it was confusing. Uh, you know, yeah, but overall though, people still enjoyed it, right? But one of the criticisms that people had about the series is one of the characters, which is Godzuki, and people actually just knew, right, that Godzuki was just gonna be that one character that was just gonna be that one character that was only created just only as like comedic relief, maybe a bit of help, but more on the whole comedic relief side. God, I'm talking too much, man. My throat's dry. Damn. But yeah, Godzuki, nobody, no one liked, right? He's worse than Manila, or that's what some people say. All right. But yeah, people just hated Godzuki because straight from the intro you could tell this character was gonna be fumbling around. All right. He was only used as although he has helped a lot, many times. Um, it's just that he it just feels like it's just that people really thought he was like an I guess a character that was only there just to provide comedic relief and nothing much else, right? But I watched a bit of the series, I guess. Maybe maybe little clips that Toho themselves actually posted, which is hella surprising, because this already tells you that Toho does acknowledge the Hanna Barbera Godzilla, which is surprising. All right. And I have seen some clips of it, and posted on Toho's Instagram. And to be honest, all right, Godzuki. Oh, it isn't really true that Godzuki. I mean, sort of, it is true that Godzuki is really there to just provide comedic relief, but he has helped a whole lot with the team, even though he is a bit of a nuisance. All right. He is also kind of like a creature that is associated with Godzilla, almost like Godzilla's son, I guess. I don't know, but like good whenever good, but yeah, like the team, they use Godzuki to call in Godzilla in case if they need any help or if they spotted something that they need Godzilla to do. All right, but yeah, Hanna Barbera Godzilla. I basically described the plot when I first mentioned it. Right, when I was drawing comparisons between this one and how it inspired Godzilla's the animated series, I basically gave out the plot right there. But yeah, said created by Hanna Barbera, That's all you need to. That's really it. I want to take a little short break. Damn, I've been talking the whole time, bro. To be honest, I actually do recommend Godzilla Battle Line. Like I've been playing it since 2021 and haven't really gotten bored of it. It's a pretty fun game, and at least it's much more fair than Clash Royale. Like I don't even mean to diss on all of y'all, all of y'all people who all of you guys who play Clash Royale, but like goddamn, the Mega Knight freaking fucking ruined the game for me. All right. Like I remember I went into the game one day, I returned to the game, all of a sudden Mega Knight. At first I was like, all right, this dude's kind of all right, but then I didn't remind a bit, maybe they were better than me. But then I started to realize just about everybody had a fucking Mega Knight. And you wanna know what's the worst thing about about this? Is that this already tells you he's too damn good. If you don't have a Mega Knight in your deck, you're screwed. It's like I could not play a single game without having someone have a Mega Knight in their deck. And it got me pissed off because I don't know, man. I still remember I got so pissed off at the game because I instead of getting the Mega Knight, I got the Inferno Dragon. The Inferno Dragon is good, but the Mega Knight, bro, he's so damn broken. They gotta do something about it. He's possibly the most broken character in the game. That's why I stopped playing it. Godzilla Battle Line though, um, with that one, there aren't really any broken characters, but there are going to be characters that people will use a lot. All right, that are going to be included in their deck. All right. As of right now, as I said, there's a common writer event, and Toho put in. The game now has something where whenever there's like an event, that's supposed to be for a specific character, that's associated with a specific character, there's gonna be something popping up which will actually say, yeah, this one is gonna be up to level 5, all right? All of them level 5, I guess. I think, I don't know. Or at least at a high level. All right. All right. 4-star characters, we're gonna be at level 5. Other characters, they might be something possibly higher. All right. But of course still powerful. But yeah, really the whole thing is more on trying to like mostly the only tip I have for Godzilla Battle Line is be to know what how the characters work. All right. And to kind of like see what your leaders can do and how what they can provide, and to also level up your characters a lot because like they will help, especially the 4-star ones, which getting 4-star ones, yeah, as I said, they're super rare, so if you can get one, then okay, you best start upgrading that character. This Buffy's a vampire slayer. I got to relax my voice a bit. In the meantime, though, I'll just find some gameplay. What the hell is this? I thought that was Buffy's a vampire slayer. No, that's not Buffy's a vampire slayer. This was a year ago, so yeah. Another thing that I want to mention is that there's also a evolution characters. You know, characters that evolve over at one point. You know, if you guys can see on the bottom with Mafra, you can see that there's a green bar rising. Something that I do miss about the game is characters like those. You can see Kong. You see that Kong has like a red. You know, one side is red, the other side is blue. Yeah, there used to be something where characters would actually, you know, there'll be monsters that would appear on the map, and if you and they'll attack whichever monsters, no matter if it's from yours their side, they'll just attack whatever monsters there is, and if you can get your side high, if you because you're blue, right? Your opponent is red, right? If you can get the bar on top to blue, all the way blue, you know, fill it up to blue, the whole thing blue. All right, I keep saying blue. Um, it will basically fight for you, right? If your opponent gets it to red, fills the whole bar to red, then yeah. Hold up, let's look on this die. Oh wait, I think that should be. I think I should be good right now. I'll just try not to talk a lot. All right, so I think this is gonna be the last one that I'll go get to. All right, we're finally start going into the waters. All right, I think this might be the last one that I'll go to, so I can call it a night. I guess. Like once I'm done with this, I guess I'm gonna call it a night. So the first thing that we have was it. So the first thing that we have. Oh my god, this freaking fucking ridiculous. The first thing that we have is Godzilla versus Batman, which is I think an unlicensed, unmade movie. Now I'm not sure if it was unmade, if it wasn't made, but like the as name implies, Godzilla and Batman meet and they fight each other. This movie was not licensed and it was a lost movie. It was a lost piece of media. I'm pretty sure it was actually canceled because I guess of course copyright reasons, but like it was so dumb. It just sounds dumb. Like what the hell? At least Godzilla versus Power Rangers or Godzilla meets a Power Ranger sounds cool. All right, next one is Baggin in Destroy All Monsters. So, um yeah, so in the movie Destroy All Monsters, wait. Yeah, so in the movie Destroy All wait. Does this appear? When is this mentioned? Oh, okay. Okay, so I put it in. I guess not. So bagging in Godzilla in Destroy Monsters, this actually refers to a scene that was actually, you know, this scene that although was still made it into the movie, it was actually an altered scene as so if you guys watch the movie, you guys can see the Paris scene, right? Gorosaurus appears from the underground in I think Paris and starts causing havoc, starts causing chaos around the place. Originally, it was supposed to be Baggin that was supposed to do that. Crawlin, you know, he was supposed to go underground and then you know, pop out to cause havoc. But the reason why he was you know, the scene never used him the reason why he was replaced with Gorosaurus was because the suit, when it was trying to go under, supposedly, the ears were falling off, and this was an old suit. I think the reason why was because the suit was sort of falling apart. When they did this, I think specifically the ears were kind of getting messed up, and so they just decided, how about we just have Gorosaurus do be in this scene? Then how about we just change? How about we replace a Baggin with Gorosaurus? Um, and yeah, um, I think I know that Baggin does make an appearance in Distal Monsters, but I think you can find the scene. I think you can actually find the scene in I think you can find the scene on YouTube or online. I think, or it's just a still. No, 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 no. No, I gotta search up the alteration. I already watched this around monsters. I thought it was a pretty good movie. Mm. Wait a minute, bagging. Wait, I think I got the name wrong. Oh, I did get the name wrong. My bad. It wasn't bagging. It was yeah, my bad. It wasn't bagging. It wasn't it wasn't Baran. It was what was his name? It's that ear dude. Let me just search up DMK then, because I know that he does appear in it. I know that's a monster what I'm talking about. Damn, he's a monster that I've seen a lot. Yeah, I forget his name. Baragon. Baragon, there it is. Wait. Yeah, so okay, let me just go back to that whole thing again. This are on monsters Baragon. I'm pretty sure there is I'm pretty sure you can find the scene. Oh man, I no wonder I got them confused. It sounds a bit similar. All Baragon scenes. Attacks Paris. Alright, so it was Paris. So there's Gorosaurus. Yeah, so it's Baragon that this oh, I remember seeing this. Another- let me just try and search. Let me just, bro. I do not want a fucking ad. I do not want a goddamn ad, man. Sometimes we find hope. Yeah, I find hope in the skip ad button. Mm. Will this include? Will this include it? All right, so I guess it does not. I get Baragon. Let me be specific. My bad. Oh, pretty sure he's awake. Let me be a bit specific right here. Baragon attacks Paris. So yeah. New Baragon scene in Destroy All Monsters. It better not. It better not be like a scene we already see in the movie. Oh, what the heck? The hell is that? No way, Bad Bear. Oh, I guess it's without tears. Wait, what the hell? Oh, does reuse scenes. What the? I, footage from Destroy All Monsters, friggins. Oh, so it is an actual thing. So I guess some of this isn't used, except it's just stitched together to create a scene. Footage from Destroy All Monsters, Frankenstein conquers the world, and Rebirth of Moffat 3. Cap and ass. All right. But yeah, even so, yeah. I guess it's not an actual scene. I think there was a still though, or something. I don't know. Uh, Guess it was a just a still or just a fact though. But yeah, originally instead of Gorosaurus attacking Paris, it was gonna be Baragon. But as I mentioned, because things were going on with the suit, like things falling off, mostly the ears, getting messed up because Baragon is coming out from the ground. The ears were getting kind of messed up and yeah. So they just decided to replace him with a Gorosaurus. All right, I got changed. I got fixed that the bagging in Destroy Monsters. All right, next one is Lost and canceled Godzilla movies. Now there's actually a lot of lost of and canceled Godzilla movies. All right, there's actually a lot of them. One of them, one well-known Lost Godzilla movie that only has a few minutes of footage, but no full movie has ever arose, was Godzilla versus a wolf man or the werewolf, which is basically about how a werewolf somehow grows into a giant monster, and it leads to Godzilla encountering it and basically fighting it off. I'm pretty sure this was actually just a fan film, was it? I think no, I don't think it was. I think it was an actual film that was planned, but like it was. I guess they stopped production. I guess it was canceled. Next one, as I meant, the other one that I can think of, as I mentioned, Godzilla versus Batman. All right, unlicensed movie right there. So I don't know if that counts. And another one is actually called The Bride of Godzilla, which is basically about how like this dude creates a giant robot, which is a woman, a giant robot that's a woman. It's supposed to be a woman, and the whole idea was that she was basically a trap for Godzilla in order to destroy him. The whole idea was to get Godzilla, to use her to get Godzilla in bed, to kind of fall for her, and they go somewhere. I think the whole idea was for her to get close enough with him, and then at one point they go somewhere. I guess maybe his home or something. I don't know. It's his home. Oh, at least there's no cameras. But all right. But yeah, the whole idea was to get both the robot lady and Godzilla into an area, and then where that's where she will explode, right? That's which is supposed to basically kill Godzilla, but I don't. I think from what I find out, that does not work. But yeah, this was actually a canceled movie, which yeah, one of the many. few of the many canceled movies. All right. Uh, I guess I can bring up a canceled Kong movie. Originally there was supposed to be a movie called King Kong versus Frankenstein. That was never made, and of course, as the name implies, King Kong goes up against Frankenstein. I guess there's one image that you can find online, which I think it's a piece of concept art or artwork where you got King Kong cornered to a wall, and you got Frankenstein just about to just about to beat his ass. It's like, damn, getting overwhelmed by this dude. Uh, Bagging and Destroy Monsters. Oh, my bad. Okay, I just forgot to put in the melee part. Okay, so that bagging and Destroy Monsters, that's actually supposed to refer to supposed to refer to the Pipeworks trilogy, right? So originally, in Destroy All Monsters Melee, originally Baggin was supposed to make an appearance in the game, but he was scrapped. Just like with many times he was supposed to be in a movie, he or a piece of media, he never makes it in. Damn, Baggin got the worst out of all of them. All right. I made a mistake there because like right here, all right, you got the cut Baragon Paris scene, which is the one that I brought up when I confused Baggin with them. So I forgot the melee part. All right. But yeah, Baggin was a cut character in this Monsters Melee, and yeah, I think there was actually a model created for him, but as it is, he was never used. Next one is Pterodactyl and Rock Mootle. So originally in Godzilla 2014, Godzilla was supposedly supposed to go up against two monsters. Similar to how in the final movie we get the male and female Mutos. Both of them going up against Godzilla. Originally, those two were supposed to be those two were actually supposed to be Pterodactyl and Rock Moodle. Pterodactyl is some sort of creature, right? Uh, Let me try and see if I can find a video on it. Yeah, I'm searching up videos. All right, time to use a video. I got I gotta find a way to like record on my at least nah, but it's all right. It's all right. Mm, excuse me. But yeah, pterodactyl isn't really a pterodactyl, I guess you can say. Uh, he's really just a flying creature with four wings on his four arms. Two arms, on his legs. Um, while Rockmootle is supposed to be a six-armed creature that has spikes on his back, and yeah, I think he was supposed. I don't know why, but I feel like between the two, I think Rockmoodle would have been the creature to survive and go up against Godzilla. Godzilla versus Rockmoodle and Pterodactyl. All right, pretty sure I can use this. Ah, thank you, Dangerville. Let me give a shout out to him. There's the times he didn't see him. Also, they only made it in as concept art. All right, they're supposed to be creatures that were supposed to appear in the movie. All right, so yeah, to be honest, these are possibly two. When you think about Godzilla 24, God, why can't I see the thumbnail? All right, here's the full concept for Rock Moodle. Yeah, um, multi-armed creature, right? Six armed creature with spikes running on its back, tail, almost an almost Stegosaurus like fashion. Um, six arms, three on each side. Yeah. This creature, very one concept art for Godzilla 2014 was shows an early version of the whole bridge scene where it's supposed to take where Rock Moodle, where this creature, and an early design of Godzilla were to fight at Alcatraz prison. All right, that's one concept art. That's one piece of concept art that does appear. All right. Yeah. This is a part. All right. Damn, this thing's big. Let's see that. It's and also there's this also I think this other piece of concept art which shows I don't know if it's official or if it's fan made, but as this it shows an early version of Godzilla and him going up against Rock Moodle on the streets, which it looks like it will have been a bloody battle right there. Bro, why does this T Rex look creepy? Yeah, this is a pterodactyl. Yeah, this how pterodactyl looks. Don't really get why it was just called pterodactyl. It just is. It just is that. All right. As I said, one wing on every leg. Some sort of unique head structure, which yeah, I've never seen actually. So that's pretty unique. A tail which looks like it's yeah. Yeah, so outside of that concept, yeah, for Rockmoodle, there are two pieces of concept art for him. Uh, you can see, as I said, early design of Godzilla, which makes it, which from the looks of it, it was when guess when he had that T Rex like look. Yeah, as I said, they're both supposed to face off at Alcatraz prison. Pterodactyl, uh, yeah, my God, I gotta keep it focused. Yeah, Godzilla, Rock Moodle, one, we're supposed to face off in a street battle and on Alcatraz. First major fight Alcatraz prison, second major fight the streets. Um, Pterodactyl though, nothing much about him besides this piece of concept art, which is like damn. Guess Rock Moodle was more popular than him. You guess you can say. Yeah. I'm wondering how that would have worked out because it just seems like there was supposed to be three, multiple monster battles. Godzilla would have at least had to fight one of them once, all right? Yeah, at least yeah, Godzilla would have at least had to fight one of them at least once, right? Once for Rockmoodle and the other for one against Rockmoodle and then the other against Pterodactyl. Pterodactyl and Rockmoodle most likely they wouldn't have met until the final battle, in which the three monsters would have clashed, and maybe the two of them would have worked together to take down Godzilla. But of course, most likely Pterodactyl would have been similar to the male Mudo. Most likely would have been the first to go, and then Rock Mudo, big bad right there. All right, female Mudo, similar to the female Mudo, he would have just head clashed against him. Then again, it could be possible that like Rock Moodle and Pterodactyl, they would have also had a chance to fight each other, but most likely Pterodactyl might have like left, and yeah, we might have also yeah, as this, all right, huge, and then in the final battle, huge monster fight between the three of them. I can really imagine how that will go. It'll be like a huge bloody battle, but it'd be the best thing you've ever seen. It will be awesome. Let me be honest. All right. The Parascene, I already mentioned it. Ghost Godzilla. So Ghost Godzilla was basically a monster that was basically another version of Godzilla. Was hold up. I'm trying to relax. Ah man, I've been talking so much, man. So Ghost Godzilla is basically another Godzilla, except this time Ghost Godzilla is supposed to be the ghost of the 1954 Godzilla, of the original 1954 Godzilla. And supposedly what would have happened was Ghost Godzilla was supposed to appear in a canceled Godzilla movie called Godzilla versus Ghost Godzilla, in which Godzilla would have actually fought against the original 1954, would have fought the ghost of the original 1954 Godzilla, and yeah, um, there is actually a picture that's associated or supposedly associated with Ghost Godzilla, but besides that, nothing ever came out. I think there are a few pieces of concept, or at least one that shows how it would have looked. And yeah. So yeah, Godzilla versus Ghost Godzilla canceled movie, and Ghost Godzilla was never made. Supposedly, the reason why Godzilla versus Ghost Godzilla never happened was because, well, they didn't want another, Godzilla versus Godzilla sort of thing, like Godzilla versus, Space Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla, all that. I think people had enough of it. But yeah, the reason why Godzilla versus Ghost Godzilla was never made was most likely due to that reason. As I said, there is an image online that is sort of associated with it. I think it could have been fan made, but who knows? Um, there was there is actually, even though Ghost Godzilla never made an appearance in any form of media, there is a pop that was created and released by Funko Pop, which was called, of course, Ghost Godzilla, and the whole design, and basically the design is based on the concept art, based on what was given in the concept art, right? White entire body is white, but there are some areas where it's blue, right? On his chest there, or on his stomach, there is a bit of blue on it. I think his eyes as well. But yeah, besides that though, besides the Funko Pop, Ghost Godzilla never made an appearance. All right, another break. Next one is next one that we have is Godzilla meets Bambi. So this is a funny one because I remember as a kid when I put on Godzilla 1985, or AKA Godzilla, or the Return of Godzilla. I mean, um before the movie started, there's like a little animation which was called Godzilla meets Bambi, and for a minute, I think, or a cup or two, I don't know, half a minute, a minute and 30, I don't know. You just see Bambi just eating leaves. All right, just eating leaves. Wait, I'll just search it up. All right, because it's funny. Like, I remember as a kid, I watched it and I was surprised. I was like, "Oh my freaking god, he killed Bambi!" All right, all right. Here it is. Peaceful music, peaceful music the whole time. Pretty sure you guys might have seen the thumbnail. Na, 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 na. I don't know if you guys can hear, but this is what's playing. Holy shit, bro! And it goes dark, like boom. Oh man, bro. Damn, it was a disrespect right there. Be great for that. Yeah. And I remember Godzilla for the helping obtaining Godzilla for this film. Yeah, from what I can from what I can remember, although Godzilla in 1985 was like some people might believe, I'm pretty sure there are people out there who do believe that the Return of Godzilla was the first American made Godzilla movie. That's completely false. All right. It was actually, because that's like completely false. The only thing that is true is that they did get American actors to star in this movie, but like it was still made by Japan. It was still made in Japan. Still, right? I think they did get some American actors in this movie, but overall though it was still filmed in Japan. All right, so still filmed by Toho, all that, right? But this is funny though. It's funny. Y'all can like search it up. Best thing I've ever seen. Best. Why does the toes go down? What the best minute and 38 seconds of my life. Oh, they also made another based on the work of. Oh, here it is. Wait. Little break. I want to watch this. Screw y'all. Screw y'all who is about to be like, oh my god, Mo, you can be watching me. Screw you. This is my stream. I do whatever I want. Boom. No, I'm just kidding. 2020. Damn, 2 years ago. Oh shit. That really how is no way he created Bambi. The oh hold up, let me bro, what the hell did I see? Did he just take a shit? Bro, he did. Why was I interested in that? Bro, what the hell? Damn. This ain't a Disney film. Boom ass bitches. To all of y'all out there, Viz ain't no. I bet very like, yeah, Viz ain't no kids film. Yeah, screw Disney and what is it? Screw Disney and the Bambi film. We got Godzilla. He awesome. Why does it feel like why does it feel like it was like that? I don't know. It'll be funny though. It'll be funny though. If it was supposed to be something like that. All right, so Godzilla meets Bambi. Next one is Zilla. So this literally is a name that was given to Godzilla in the Final Wars movie. So Zilla is basically the name given to the one scene in Final Wars, right? Now there is a bit of there is a bit of debate, or a bit there is actually there's actually discussions, right, where people are like, saying that you can't really call the 1998 and the one scene in the animated series Zilla. You can't call them Godzillas because, well, they're not really Godzillas. They're Zillas. All right, all three of them. All right, the one from the 1998 movie, the Junior, and the Final War, the one in Final Wars. They're all called Zillas. While there are other people basically, correcting this, saying um, that although the one in Godzilla 1998, although they did say that it's the one in 1998 basically took the god out of Godzilla, he's still considered Godzilla. All right, so the animated series, he's called Godzilla. He's still called Godzilla. Especially Godzilla Junior, as of course he basically is a Godzilla when you think about it, right? Because he put the god in Godzilla back. All right. While the one in Final Wars, his name's Zilla. Yeah, definitely. Because like Toho officially trademarked the name Zilla for the one scene in Final Wars, which is actually which hold up. Can I actually bring out the logo? Hold up. I know I have the movie. I gotta go into my room. Hold up, I'll be back. All right, so I found Godzilla Final Wars because um I'm pretty sure in all boxes, I'm pretty sure in all Godzilla movies, in Toho Godzilla movies to be specific, there's always gonna be, the logos, the trademark logos or trademark icons featured on the back of the movies for the Godzilla monsters, and of course Godzilla himself. Um yeah, so hold on, let me just so these are like the Toho trademark icons for the characters. And then you got Zilla right there. He has his own, which is based on one of the concept art. Is actually based on one of the renders or concept art that is seen for the Godzilla 1998. Yeah, that's him right there. Yeah. So Zil yeah, the one in Final Wars, he was given his own trademark. Besides that though, yeah, there are people that are discussing and kind of arguing about it, but there are also people in the middle just not giving a shit. Just people in the middle, just all they care. you know I guess people like me who just don't really give a shit. We're just gonna call the one in 1998 uh the animated series, and the one in Final Wars. We're just gonna either refer to them but Final Wars. I'm pretty sure we're gonna still call him Zilla Final Wars, but the other two, like in the other two in the 1998 in animated series, we're either just gonna call them Godzilla or just Zilla, just going to separate them from the other Godzillas, I guess. But we're not really gonna care. All right, like how I said, I almost called Godzilla Junior Zilla Junior. Yeah, I'm pretty sure people are gonna piss at me, gonna get pissed at me because the fans gonna be on my ass about it. The canceled TriStar Godzilla sequel. So I mentioned it. So I did mention this earlier in the Iceberg video on the Godzilla 1998 part, where or the animated series part, which is where I actually did bring it up. So the ending of 19. So to go back to it, do a little recap. So in at the end of the 19 so in the 1998 movie, we saw that Matt, the Jet Fighters bombed Godzilla 1998, or wait, what the heck am I saying? I don't even know. So we all saw that in man the movie. Trying to get my head straight. We all saw that in the movie. The Jets bombed the Manhattan Square Garden in order to kill all of the baby Godzillas that hatched and all of the eggs that didn't hatch. Right, basically they were trying to kill everything inside of the Manhattan Square Garden because literally, Godzilla just laid his eggs there, and either they were born or weren't born. All right, they just want to kill all the Godzillas. All right, whether they were already hatched or not. All right. And as I said, at the end of the movie, before the credits roll, you do get get like a look inside of inside of the destroyed Manhattan Square Garden, where you do see one surviving Godzilla egg, which hatches and out comes a little baby Godzilla, which as I said, was supposed to call in for a sequel, but it was canceled due to how terrible the movie was, due to how terrible the 1998 movie did. Right. So supposedly, what this canceled TriStar Godzilla sequel was supposed to be about, it was supposed to be about a bit of of the similar plot, where Nick discovers this surviving Godzilla that already hatched, and although at first it's a baby, it just decides to be, it looks at Nick as his mom. Similar story like the animated series one, but except this time, similar story. One point, Godzilla Jr. and Nick reunite, and and then the whole thing ends up leading up to Godzilla getting led to an island, which is where it will be called Monster Island. I guess I guess we could all look at as supposedly being the Monster Island of the movie, as the island was actually supposed to be the place where Godzilla would be able to like lay his eggs and stuff. But the military ends up finding out about it. They do not want the entire world getting overrun by all of these Godzillas, right? And so what happens is that I think the military ends up going to the island, killing all of the Godzillas there, which all except one, all right, which saddens the Godzilla, but at least he has still has one kid left. Actually, is it the military or is it the queen bees? I don't know, but like all I know is that either the military or these giant bees kill all of Godzilla's kids, all of his children except one, and so he ends up getting pissed, and yeah, he goes up against this giant bee, this giant wasp or bee. I think it was referred to as a giant queen bee. All right, he goes Godzilla Junior goes against this thing, and defeats it, kills it, and yeah. Now him and what happens next? Him and his only surviving child. They go off into the sunset, back to their home. Right. This queen, as I said, this queen bee is kind of like the main monster villain of the sequel, right? Along with her other little bee minions, worker bees. The funny thing is that this queen bee was actually given a name, which was Queen Bitch, which was like, damn. Shit. I don't think kids gonna be saying that. Gonna be a lot. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be calling her the lion Queen Bee. But yeah, that was a canceled TriStar sequel. That was a canceled TriStar Godzilla sequel. Uh, as I said, it was canceled because of how terrible Godzilla in 1998 did. Uh, but hey, at least we got the animated series, which could have actually turned out, which would have which could have actually been much better than the sequel, than the canceled movie sequel. I mean, maybe the canceled movie sequel could have been much better than the animated series, but who knows? Who knows? Next one and the last one for for really right now are the Toho Kong movies. So after Godzilla versus Kong, or King Kong versus Godzilla, Toho did make a couple of King Kong movies, which one of the ones that I know of, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people do know of, is King Kong Escapes, which I think is the reason why people know about it is because it introduces Mechanic Kong, which similar to Mecha Godzilla. This is supposed to be King Kong's counter robotic counterpart. But yeah, Toho did make a couple of Kong movies. I think the last one was I think the what was the last one actually? I definitely ain't know I ain't gonna find it on YouTube. Or King Kong Toho. All right, King Kong Escapes. Um, was it? Yeah, this was during the Showa era of Godzilla movies. These movies were released. These King Kong movies were released during the was it the Showa era of Godzilla movies. But yeah, after King Kong versus Godzilla, Toho made a couple of King Kong movies. One of them was, of course, King Kong Escapes, and I'm pretty sure someone did. I'm pretty sure one of the videos did mention. What is it? Yeah, King Kong Escapes. Pretty sure that was the only one. I don't know. I thought there was another one. Oh, that's cool. Skip. Yeah, King Kong versus Godzilla was the first. Was the first. Nah, I gotta look. And also they used some stop motion, which was actually pretty cool. Oh yeah. Wait, what? Oh, so yeah, so yeah, the uh, oh damn. Oh, okay. So really the only movie, the only Toho movie that Kong did appear in was in King Kong versus Godzilla and King Kong Escapes. So I guess those are really the only two movies. Huh. If I remember there being more, that could just be me. Oh no, it could just be that whole feeling where it's like, oh, wasn't there more? But no, turns out there really isn't more. All right. Well, as it is, that's the iceberg, or at least three layers of it. Yeah, three layers of it. Three layers that I created. That I three layers that I went through, that I completed, talked about, brought up. The one with Burning Godzilla, the one with the Godzilla battle line, showing Godzilla Ultraman, and then the one with Godzilla 1998. The next time I make another stream like this, the next part, of course, I'm gonna try and finish it up. Yeah, I'm gonna try and finish up the rest of the iceberg, which is gonna be the middle layer with the unused Kaiji right under Zilla, which it's gonna be mentioned. You can kind of see his name, but like, yeah. And then we got the one which says Skull Island, and then we got Shin Godzilla's third form. And then I don't know if you guys can see at the bottom, and then we got the very bottom, which shows an animatronic Godzilla without anything. So, yeah, that's really the iceberg. That's really the iceberg that I can go to. They're like 156. Damn, I want to go to sleep now. Damn, it's getting late. All right, well, I'm gonna end this video right here. All right, second next part, next live stream that I'll do, it will continue do I'll continue to go for the iceberg. Damn, I need a drink, man, and then maybe some food. I don't know. I mean, maybe a little snack. All right. Overall, though, yeah, hope y'all enjoy this video or this stream. I don't know. I'm gonna go now. My belly. It's just. Why am I talking about my belly? What the hell? Alright. I'm gonna go now. Peace, y'all. Bye. See you on the next part.